Hey, I'm Jusko from ProudMoney.com, and in this video we are going to look at the best dining credit cards. But before we do that, I'm going to ask you to please subscribe to this YouTube channel if you have not already, and if you have already, I thank you for doing so. So we haven't tackled this topic in a while. It seems like a good time to do so. People are eating out more, especially eating out in terms of actually leaving their homes and sitting in restaurants more so than they have over the last 12 to 14 months or so. So we are going to look at cards that are good for eating out or bringing food home, or in most cases having food delivered to you. In all cases, the cards we are looking at are going to give you at least a 3% reward on your restaurant purchases, whether that means 3% cash back or more, or it means 3 points per dollar or more if we're talking about a card that has a points program attached to it. There are some cards out there that would give you 2 points per dollar on your restaurant purchases. You could probably make the case they would give you more than a 3% reward, but we're going to try and keep it clean here and go for either 3% or more, or 3 points per dollar or more on those restaurant purchases. So the best card for those restaurant purchases across the board for most people is going to be the US Bank Altitude Go Visa. It's a no annual fee card giving you 4 points per dollar, which equals 4% cash back if you redeem it that way on your restaurant purchases. You'll also get 2 points or 2% on gas, on groceries, on streaming services. There is a bonus opportunity of $200 if you can meet the spend requirement. The card has no foreign transaction fees. Really nice card across the board, and especially for those restaurant purchases. Now, US Bank can be a little picky in terms of the customers it approves. If you have a lot of other credit cards, especially you've gotten a lot of other credit cards in the recent past, US Bank may not approve you. So this is a card that if you are sort of prioritizing restaurant purchases, and maybe you haven't gotten a lot of cards recently, maybe you should get this card before you get other ones if you want to get approved. Numbers 2 and 3 on this list, the two Chase Freedom cards, Chase Freedom Unlimited and the Chase Freedom Flex card. Both of these cards giving you 3% back on your restaurant purchases, or 3 points per dollar in the Chase Ultimate Rewards system. Chase Freedom Unlimited, no annual fee, 3% on restaurant purchases, 5% on travel purchases through the Chase Ultimate Rewards travel portal, 3% on drugstore purchases, 1.5% back on anything else that you buy with the card. There is a $200 bonus opportunity as I make this video for new card holders if you can meet the minimum spend over the first few months. Chase Freedom Flex, very similar, no annual fee, 3% on the restaurant purchases, 5% on travel through the Chase portal, 3% on drugstores. Here's where it diverts a little bit from the Chase Freedom Unlimited. There is also a 5% category where you can earn 5 points per dollar or 5% cash back on purchases in certain categories that Chase designates each calendar quarter. So each calendar quarter, those purchases are going to change where you can get 5%. So in one quarter it might be gas, the next quarter it might be groceries, the next quarter it may be some other category. But whatever that category is, you can get 5% cash back in it during that period. And then anything else that you buy with the card, you get 1% cash back. It has the same upfront bonus for new card holders, $200 as I make this video. Number 4 on the list, the Navy Federal Credit Union More Rewards American Express card. Now, not everyone qualifies to be a member of Navy Federal Credit Union, which is what you have to be in order to get this card. But if you do, a very nice card. 3% on those restaurant purchases, or 3 points per dollar. You're going to get that 3% also on supermarket purchases, 3% on gas purchases, 3% on transit purchases, 1% everywhere else. There's no foreign transaction fee, so you can use the card outside of the US without any extra charges. This card does have, as I make this video, a $100 bonus opportunity. Now, the bonus on this card changes very often. It was probably less than 2 weeks before I made this video when there was a $200 or $250 bonus opportunity on this card. So if you're looking at it and you see the $100 bonus, maybe you'll want to wait a little bit and see if that bonus goes up a little bit, because it does change a lot. But as I make this video, $100 bonus, overall, really nice card. Number 5 is the American Express Gold card. Now, this card has a $250 annual fee, so you're going to have to find value from this card that is going to account for that annual fee and make you feel like you're getting something more even on top of that annual fee. Now, it is sort of a restaurant-centric card to a certain extent, so it makes sense to look at this card here. You get 4 points per dollar in the American Express Membership Rewards program on those restaurant purchases, 4 points per dollar on US supermarket purchases, 3 points per dollar on flights, 1 point per dollar everywhere else. There are a couple of potential credits you can get with this card that, if you could max them out completely, could be worth $240 to you per year, which would take care of most of that annual fee. However, for most people, it is going to be a little work to actually max out these credits. One of them is a $120 Uber credit, but it is split up to $10 per month. Use it or lose it each month. So if you know you're going to use Uber or Uber Eats for at least $10 per month, then by the end of the year, you could get credit for up to $120 in Uber or Uber Eats purchases. And then there's a second credit that could max out at $120 if you use the card for certain dining purchases. So purchases with Grubhub, Seamless, restaurants like Cheesecake Factory or Shake Shack, and there are a few others, but it's still somewhat narrow and it's still split up each month, $10, use it or lose it each month. But if you can max that one out, end of the year, you'd have $120 in credit. If you can max both of them out, then $240. This card has a nice big bonus for new card holders. So a lot going on with this card. If you can max out those credits in particular, this card could be worth it, especially with the 4 points per dollar on those restaurant purchases and the grocery store purchases as well. Number 6, we are going to look at both of the Capital One Saver cards and talk about which one might make more sense for you. There's the Capital One Saver Rewards card and the Capital One Saver One card. In the short term, the Capital One Saver Rewards card might make sense even with its annual fee, but over the long haul, the Saver One card is going to be better for more people. So the Capital One Saver Rewards card has a $95 annual fee. You get 4% cash back on your restaurant purchases, 4% back on entertainment purchases, 2% back on grocery store purchases, 1% everywhere else. As I make this video, there is the opportunity for a $300 bonus as a new card holder. Now, the Saver One card has no annual fee, but you get 3% cash back on your restaurant purchases, 3% on entertainment purchases, 2% on groceries, 1% everywhere else, a smaller bonus opportunity of $200 with that card, although you don't have to spend as much in order to realize that $200 bonus opportunity. So in the short term, the Capital One Saver Rewards card might be better because you can get a bigger bonus on the front end and you're getting more rewards on those restaurant and entertainment purchases. But once you get sort of beyond that first year, that $95 annual fee on the Saver Rewards card isn't really going to make much sense for most people, because in order for it to be sort of better than the no annual fee card, you'd have to be spending at least $10,000 in those restaurant and entertainment purchase categories in order to make up for that $95 annual fee and essentially get the same reward that you would get with the Saver One. So unless you are a really heavy spender in the restaurant and entertainment categories in particular, that Saver Rewards card and its $95 annual fee aren't going to make as much sense as simply going for the no annual fee Saver One. Number 7 is the PNC Bank Cash Rewards Visa. PNC mostly on the eastern half of the United States, so this card might not be available to everyone, but if PNC is in your area, you have a no annual fee cashback card that is giving you 3% cash back on those restaurant purchases, 4% back on gas, 2% on groceries, 1% everywhere else. Now there is an $8,000 cap on those 4%, 3%, and 2% categories that I just mentioned. So if you spend over $8,000 in restaurant, gas, and groceries combined, anything beyond that $8,000 would only get you 1%. So if you're a very big spender on your cards, well, then you'll want to think about that cap. If not, then you don't have to really worry about it. There is a bonus opportunity on this card as I make this video of $100 if you spend $1,000 with the card in the first 3 months of having it. Numbers 8 and 9 on this list I am going to lump together because they are similar yet different cards, those being the Costco Anywhere Visa and the Sam's Club MasterCard. In order to get either of these cards, you would have to be a member with those retail chains. So the Costco Anywhere Visa gives you 3% cash back on your restaurant purchases. It's giving you 4% back on gas purchases on up to $7,000 in gas purchases, and there are some other enhanced categories with that card as well. well. Sam's Club MasterCard, similar, 3% on restaurant purchases, 5% on gas purchases on up to $6,000 in gas purchases. You get 3 to 5% on your Sam's Club purchases depending on your membership level there. There is a very small bonus on the Sam's Club MasterCard, no new cardholder bonus on the Costco card, at least not the publicly available information that we have. So both of these cards are pretty decent cards if you are a member of Sam's Club or Costco. One of the things that drives me a little crazy about these cards is that you only get to redeem your cash back one time per year, and they both do a pretty good job of making sure that the money that you get back, you sort of push back into spending at either Costco or Sam's Club, because with Costco you have to go into a Costco store in order to redeem your money that you have received over the course of the year, and with the Sam's Club card, I believe they give you a credit on your Sam's Club membership card, essentially, that you can then use toward more Sam's Club purchases. I think you can get your cash back in your hand, but they make you do some work to actually get that cash back, and for most people they probably just, push it back into more purchases at Costco or more purchases at Sam's Club. Number 10 is the Verizon Visa. Now, if you're a Verizon customer, this is a very good credit card. If you are not a Verizon customer, well, then you could skip ahead to the next section. No annual fee card gives you 3% back on restaurant purchases, 4% back on gas, 4% on groceries, 2% on Verizon purchases, 1% everywhere else. But the catch here is that everything you earn on this card can only be used to go to pay your Verizon bill or to buy a phone through Verizon, which is essentially the same thing. Now, there's some other extras here in terms of some discounts you can get with this card, but that's sort of the crux of it. You're getting nice rebates on the purchases that you make with this card, but you're only getting them to offset your Verizon bill. Now, if you think of it, if you have to pay that Verizon bill every month anyway, well, then that's the same really as getting cash back, and you are just using it to pay for that particular thing versus getting the cash in your hand and buying something else with it. So it is a pretty nice card. Now, if you're not a Verizon customer, you're out of luck, because the only thing you're getting here is Verizon Rewards. So those are sort of the top 10 dining rewards cards. Now, there are 5 other cards that I want to talk about in no particular order that could be right for you and do have good restaurant rewards, but they have something else going on that maybe would not make them right for a large number of people. So let's talk about those. The Wyndham Rewards Earner Plus card gives you 4 points per dollar on those restaurant purchases, 4 points per dollar on grocery, 6 points per dollar on Wyndham purchases, 1 point per dollar everywhere else, a 45,000 point bonus opportunity. As I am making this video, it does have a $75 annual fee. If Wyndham hotels are desirable to you, you can get more nights for fewer points overall with the Wyndham program, and so that can make this card and the Wyndham program in general desirable to you. Now, it depends on what you're looking for. Wyndham doesn't have as many of these sort of high-end hotels that maybe you would desire if you were thinking about Marriott or Hilton or Hyatt or something along those lines. You have a lot of the Days Inn and Travelodge and Ramada and Baymont. Perfectly fine hotels, but some people kind of want a little luxury when they go into a hotel rewards program. So Wyndham is either something that works for you and that you can find great value with, or it's something that is not as desirable to you. If that works for you, you've got good restaurant rewards and you've got a pretty good credit card. The Bank of the West Cashback MasterCard, no annual fee, 3% cash back on dining, 3% on groceries, 3% on gas, 1% everywhere else. Bank of the West is a regional bank, more in the West, as you might imagine from the name. So that is something that's sort of a mitigating factor here. The card has no bonus, so that's a little bit of a mitigating factor as well. But 3% cash back on sort of the big 3 in terms of everyday spending, being restaurants, gas, and groceries. Chase Sapphire Reserve, $550 annual fee. So obviously you are going to be looking for value from a lot of things here, not just restaurant rewards, but it does give you 3 points per dollar on your restaurant purchases, 3 points per dollar for travel purchases, 1 point per dollar everywhere else. Now you have other things going on. You've got a $300 annual travel credit on this card. You have access to airport lounges. You have the possibility of using your points to redeem through the Chase Travel Portal and getting an extra 50% on those points. So you could think of 3 points per dollar on restaurant purchases actually as being 4.5 cents per dollar on those restaurant purchases. So this card has a lot going on, and so obviously you have to think about whether you can sort of justify that $550 annual fee. Obviously you would need to max out the travel credit on this card in order to do that, and then you would have to be a fairly big spender on those restaurant and travel categories in particular in order to feel like you're getting good value out of this card. Has a nice big bonus, so the first year it's obviously an easier equation, but on an ongoing basis you'd have to see if it makes sense for you. The Citi Prestige card's sort of a similar story, a $495 annual fee. So you have to think about whether the card overall justifies that annual fee for you. 5 points per dollar on your restaurant purchases, 5 points per dollar on airline tickets, 3 points per dollar on hotels, 3 points per dollar on cruises, 1 point per dollar everywhere else. You have a $250 travel credit that you could take advantage of with this card. There's a 4th night free hotel credit that you could take advantage of. If you use the card to pay for 4 nights or more at a hotel, you would get that 4th night free and a big bonus up front. So you just have to think, does this card make sense with that annual fee for the type of purchases you make, the volume of purchases you make, whether you can max out that travel credit every year, all that kind of stuff. Finally, it's the Citi Premier card, $95 annual fee, 3 points per dollar on restaurant purchases, 3 points per dollar on supermarket purchases, 3 points per dollar on gas, 3 points per dollar on air travel, 3 points per dollar on hotel purchases, 1 point per dollar everywhere else. Nice big bonus. There is the potential for a yearly $100 credit if you use the card to pay for a hotel stay through Citi's Thank You Travel portal. So a lot of good things going on with this card, except for me, I look at it and I say, well, I could get 3% cash back in all of those categories that I just talked about just by holding other no annual fee cards out there on the market. So do I want to pay $95 to have this card in order to get those same things? Some people might say yes, because you get it all in one card. And some people would look at those thank you points and say, well, I could transfer them to some of Citi's travel partners and get even more value out of them. So if you like Citi's thank you program, well, then this is a card that potentially could make sense for you. I'm not as high on it, but perhaps you would be. So that's it. Questions, comments, disputes, things I forgot, put those in that comment section below. Otherwise, I thank you for watching. And as always, please go to proudmoney.com, where we do credit card reviews and we talk personal finance and we talk deals and all sorts of other fun stuff too. Thanks for watching. Bye.